Hello everyone and welcome to another YouTube video. We are going to be discussing Mars going direct. I highly recommend that you listen to this first part of the video before you jump into your forecast for all 12 signs, just so you have a very holistic overall view of what Mars going direct means for the collective and just in general. So let's talk about Mars and what it's been doing in the sign of Gemini. So Mars entered the sign of Gemini back in August 2022, and then it went retrograde in October 2022. So it's been retrograde since then. And then today, January 12th, 2023, it will go direct, and it'll stay in the sign of Gemini up until March 25, 2023. It will exit the sign of Gemini and move into the sign of Cancer. So that's the dance Mars is doing in the sign of Gemini right now. And Mars is our teacher. I kind of really like how this one astrologer, I think it's Beyond the Veil of Astrology, or Beyond the Veil of Tarot and Astrology on YouTube. That's their account name. But they explained it like the planet, Mars is the teacher, and then the sign, Gemini, is the lesson. And so we had the energy of Mars, which is our action, our energy levels, our aggression, our courage, how we're going about taking action on something, our strategies. That was our teacher. And then we had the sign of Gemini, which was the lesson. So we had lessons coming up on communication, our nervous system, our interactions, information, and systems in general, business systems, learning systems, nervous systems, our mind and our mental space. We had lessons there, and it was lessons regarding our action and our energy and our aggression in that area and our courage in our area, that ability to speak up for ourselves, that ability to, talk ourselves into where we want to be, the ability to make an accurate strategy that'll get us to where we want to be. And that energy went retrograde for a minute. And that put us in a period where we had to reflect, we had to contemplate, we had to have very honest moments with ourselves. We had to maybe learn some tough lessons, face some tough karmas, and we had to rework something. And so one thing that we could see with Mars going direct is this energy of feeling stuck, feeling frustrated, or feeling kind of like unable to move forward will be coming to a close. Now it'll come to a close maybe closer to the end of January. We still have Mercury, which is the dispositor of this transit, still retrograde, and then we have the new moon coming up in Aquarius, and we have Lunar New Year as well coming up. We have the sun moving into Aquarius, so there's still a few more we also have Uranus needing to go direct as well, and that'll happen on the 23rd. So there's still a few more transits that we're waiting on until we're in the all planets direct period and the shifts have been made and we can start to really move forward, start to get conclusions and solutions here. So we may still be feeling a little bit frustrated because, Mars is going direct, yes, but it's still moving slow. It's still trying to gain its momentum. It will gain it, though, towards the end of the month, especially in February, and definitely by March, we should be moving forward from a lot of these things that we're facing, these conflicts that we're facing. We should be resolving them. These lessons that we're learning, they should have been learned. We should have had our aha moment. Things that we need to end or cut off, we should have definitely ended that or cut it off by then. At the end of this transit, what we're hoping to have is the healthier Mars energy, a healthier way of going about something, a healthier energy levels, healthier courage and strength and stability in our lives as well. Now, something that's also interesting is Mars rules over the houses of Aries and Scorpio. So those houses became very activated during this transit, and we had Jupiter in Aries. So that transit's going to start to pick up as well. And so that says that something that you maybe weren't quite ready for, you're ready for now. So when Mars first entered the sign of Aries and it went retrograde, that period between August 2022, October 2022, there was probably something that we really wanted to do especially in August 2022. We probably really wanted to start something up, but then the retrograde hit and we felt that delay or that frustration come up. And now we should start to be able to move beyond that. And we should feel ready. We should feel ready to tackle it now, feel more clear, feel like we have a game plan drawn up. And like I said, that'll happen. That will continue to unfold over the next couple months. You'll continue to sort of reinitiate or relaunch something or restart something, this time with just a lot more information. We didn't necessarily have enough information when we first came up with that idea, perhaps. And I could see people really starting to notice what was weakening them. And you're just becoming aware of that. Becoming aware of something that, maybe an unhealthy habit that you have that is weakening you, or a relationship that is weakening you, or a job that's weakening you. You've really been pushed to sort of sort that out and become aware of that and handle it. And I think we're also really working on the relationship between our minds and our physical reality, making sure that's well connected and working together in harmony, being able to think something and then actually make it happen in a realistic way, in a way that's going to last, that's, not just going to crumble super easily, one that's steady and secure and stable. I could also see, it's interesting, I was listening to this YouTuber. Their account on YouTube is Beyond the Veil Tarot and Astrology, I believe. I'm not sure what their name is. I just stumbled upon them, but they're really excellent. Subscribe to them, check them out. They have this video about the Mars and Mercury quincunx, and it's so interesting. I highly suggest maybe checking that out after this video, after you listen to this video. But they kind of talk about how, Mercury is the sort of host of this transit of the Mars and Gemini transit, because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And that's in the sign of Capricorn right now, which is about structures and limitations and people in authority. And so this astrologer continues to talk about how when this transit starts to get in quincunx, which I believe is like January 14th to like the 21st or something, or 20th. It's about a 6-day transit, but they talk about how we could be hearing sort of news from Capricorn, like people, maybe regarding our speech and speech being restricted, maybe even reinforcing certain rules, really showing out who's boss here, and how we can see people coming out wanting to acknowledge certain elephants in the room. It was so interesting how she talked about, you've heard, example, Kanye, who is a Gemini, really trying to speak out about elephants in the room and about how people in charge, treat other people. And so there could be this sort of, truth being exposed during that time. So that's really interesting to see. And so I can so some overall themes I'm getting here, positive themes of Mars going direct is we will see an overcoming in blockages or delays or feeling stuck. We will see people resolving conflicts, having that conversation that needs to happen, even if it's uncomfortable. We will see people sort of redoing and reinitiating their goals. And now they have a lot more confidence. They have a lot more of that energy, that Mars, willpower, and the information needed to reinstate those goals. We'll see people becoming more aware of what's throwing them off, more aware of what their weaknesses are. We'll see people finally making the cut, cutting off those unhealthy habits, relationships, karmas, and awaited information or news finally coming through. The downside is that we can also see people feeling a little more angsty and restless. Dreams, sleep, the mental space can feel a little bit chaotic. We're all over the place. Tech can definitely act up. Mean and harsh speech can be kind of going back and forth between people, or even within your own self. You could have some negative self-talk. We could feel some kind of friction coming through in a certain area of life. We could see karma coming up. We could see drama on social media. Wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about, the Bird app, the Twitter, coming up, and like more restriction of speech going on there. People can be very clumsy right now, so I do suggest that you try to like slow down, that you try not to rush, because you can bump into things, you can get a little clumsy. Accidents can happen. I don't want anyone getting hurt, so just make sure that you are taking your time and relaxing as much as you can during this transit. So some call to action things that I have for you. I think this is a great time to hold space for the lessons that you've learned. Write it down. Whenever you feel like I'm learning a lesson, whip out that journal and write it down. This is also a time to, I think, sit back and observe, what is being exposed, what information is coming through. Spend more time in nature, offline, if you can, like get offline, get into nature, ground, be in the body. There could be a lot of mental stimulation right now. We want to offset that by being grounded in our body. Maybe focus on reading, focus on learning, other type of Gemini things. Put your energy into Gemini things, not just communication, the internet, other people. Put it into things like learning or journaling or practicing a new skill. I also think this is a great time to be more willing to reach out to other people for help or for information. Like, don't do your taxes on your own. Reach out to a professional tax person to help you. Maybe don't, do the marketing for your business all on your own. Reach out to a marketing team. Like, try to have help. Try to have that team. Gemini energy is very social energy. So it could be a good time to delegate. All right, just think if there's anything else I want to mention before we get into all 12 signs, and I don't believe so. So we're going to get into all 12 signs now. I'm going to talk a little bit of some messages and some astrology, and I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. You could watch for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. It'll be the most accurate for your rising sign, though, so watch that first. Sun and moon sign will be secondary most accurate. Hello, Aries and Aries rising. So let's go ahead and get into it. Certain lessons you could be learning from this transit would have been lessons regarding your relationships, intimacy, self-love, health, your approach and lens on life. You could be reinstating maybe a new identity, life goals, a health routine. And I could see you really strengthening your mental health, your nervous system, your community and social spaces. You also could be receiving some information here regarding your income, your work life, your work ethic from bosses or from work or from any type of authority figures. They may have some news there for you. You could also be receiving news when it comes to taxes or finances or any type of like debts you may own or any shared resources you have. Like if you have roommates or something like that, there could be some information coming through there from, again, the authority figure. So like the landlord would be reaching out, or like your tax lawyer could be reaching out, just wanting to talk about something. There could also be some type of needed or necessary conversations happening here regarding friends, social circles, or siblings even. And the tarot card that I pulled for you is the card of illusion here. Let's go ahead and read what this book says about this card. It says, when you feel small, insecure, or controlled by fear, this is not your true self. This is your programmed self, ruled by the limbic system, ego, past traumas, and the false marketing that always shames us into not feeling good enough. And so one thing that, Gemini rules is systems. So cleaning out your systems, I think, is going to be really important. Cleaning out your nervous system, really trying to reset that. Maybe resetting your thought process, trying to make that something that is more encouraging and more positive. This card says, this illusion will tell you that you are not worthy, make you feel scared, keep you with someone who treats you poorly, and make you feel the need to compete with others and be better than others. The challenge lies in how powerfully real this illusion appears. It colors every aspect of your reality like a cloud of thick gray smoke. While you cannot always avoid being caught in the smoke, you can recognize when you are in it. This is the most important part of seeing clearly. You must first understand that you are in an illusion before you can escape it. The more you become cognitively aware of the smoke, the less power it has over you. And this is about, understanding what brings you fear and knowing that's not the actual truth, knowing that you are safe and that everything will work itself out, and you don't have to rush when it comes to making big decisions. You'll see things clearly soon enough. All right. Thanks for listening, Aries. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you did. I'll see you guys next time. Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Welcome to your forecast. So something I could see you guys learning here is you could receive lessons regarding your spiritual or subconscious health, any illusions that you are keeping to yourself, or telling yourself. So like conditions that maybe don't need to be conditions, or restrictions you put on yourself that don't really need to be restrictions. That kind of thing could come up, and I think you'll really see what needs to be let go and what needs to be cut off. That is another lesson here, and maybe even lessons regarding relationships and how you've been going about relationships, how you've been exiting relationships, how you've been treating the relationships in your life. That kind of stuff can come up. You could be reinstating a healthier internal monologue, a healthier relationship with yourself. Could be maybe healing up your internal state of being, healing up old karmas, really healing up any past narratives that you keep alive, healing that up or cutting that out or letting that go. I could see you strengthening your finances and your income and your work routines and your work ethics. You could maybe receive spiritual information here or philosophical information here that'll help you create or forge a better outlook on life. And when you forge that better outlook on life, you can kind of catalyze more positive things in your life and get out of a period of like negativity, get out of a period of always catalyzing drama or catalyzing difficulty in your life. I think you are moving more towards a timeline of peace, a timeline of stillness, a timeline of healing. You could also be receiving information about travel or education here that may also affect you and the trajectory of your life. You could be healing and working through old breakups, maybe even breaking up with people. I hate to say it. That could be some of the things that you're letting go of here, but your relationships are just getting real and you're over being with people that aren't truly allowing you to be free, allowing you to be yourself. You're really over the superficial crap. You're over it and you're ready to make that change. And I think that you are also building up more security and stability and resources for yourself. Could be saving up for that rainy day. Could be working on healthier diets, even really trying to nourish the body and giving your body energy, the energy that it needs to make the dreams happen, the energy that it needs to start that new chapter, the energy that it needs to maybe reintroduce itself to the world. I could see you kind of going into hermit mode a little bit here, going into that cocoon phase, getting ready to reintroduce yourself as the butterfly. I think the butterfly energy will sort of come out more when Jupiter enters your sign towards the later half of 2023. From now until then, you are sort of in the undoing phase, letting go of what's not you, letting go of the false narratives and restrictions and conditions and thought processes and ways of living your life, basically, that maybe were built from trauma or were built from hardships. I think you're undoing that, getting back to your true self and kind of giving yourself a fresh start here. Let's go ahead and look at your tarot, or your oracle, I'm sorry. You have the card of inner truth, and it talks about how whatever guidance you are currently seeking, this card is confirmation that the answer will not only come, but it will come from within. Owl says it's okay to not always immediately know the right answer or what to do. Fear may arise and hide the truth of a situation from you, but you are being asked to sit in the confidence of your own inner knowing. Patience is the utmost important. Patience is of the utmost importance. When you push and try to instruct your intuition to immediately figure out the answer, your intuition becomes strangled by your own ego. All you need to know is that the guidance will come, and when and how it comes is none of your concern. Life will help you connect with your intuition to reveal the truth, figure out the best path, and do what's best for your growth and the growth of anyone else involved. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this resonated. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, welcome. So certain lessons you may be learning here would be lessons regarding your health, your work routines, your daily habits, and your friendships. You may be reinstating certain higher ambitions when it comes to your online reputation or your social goals, social media goals, just connecting with more people. If you have goals to do that, you could be reinstating that. It could be updating your technology. You could be strengthening your body's health, your self-love, your approach, and your outlook to life. You could be receiving news here regarding something from your past, regarding your subconscious, maybe news from your own subconscious. Like you could be receiving intuitive downloads from divine energy, from source energy, into your subconscious. Your dreams could be very lit up. There could be communication here regarding finances and shared finances, or finances with a partner or roommates, or any type of shared resources. That kind of stuff could be coming through. But I see you mainly being focused on your body and your body's health and getting your work routine right and your resources right, getting your security, locked in, really trying to add in a lot more stability in your life. And I could see you doing a lot of healing when it comes to your subconscious mind, trying to work on staying present, really strengthening your mind, maybe reading more books, getting more education in, having more alone time, I think is really good for you right now, Gemini. And maybe even healing up the internal monologue, not being so critical on yourself or towards other people, and just having a more peaceful place to be when you are alone and in your own mind, not letting that be maybe a chaotic, anxious place. I think we are really working on healing our anxieties and our worries. And the tarot card I have for you, Gemini, is a card of service. And this card says, second to suffering, service is the next best vehicle to tame the ego. Jumpstart your growth, blossom into yourself, and get over a painful experience. The Wounded Healer, an archetype conceived by Carl Jung, speaks of a person who becomes healed by being of service to others. And that is where I could see, the healing when it comes to friendships coming in, maybe really being there for your friend, being a good friend, and healing when it comes to connecting with mass groups of people, a bigger audience. You could be on social media or whatever, communicating about healing. That could be like the service you're working towards right now. It says you understand that service will always lead to some form of success. This is not the superficial understanding of material success, which is based on popularity, looks, status, or the amount of money in your bank account. Long-lasting and eternal success creates an energy that can never be destroyed. This is the energy that is created when we are of service to others, an everlasting spiritual wealth. So that is actually something I can see. Communication when it comes to spirituality and feeling abundant and feeling a lot more wealthy outside of the vain and material, definitions of what feeling wealthy is. And one thing we could see here is maybe more personal blessings coming through, especially when you're acting from like this very selfless or generous place. Personal blessings really coming through, some good karma coming through there. And I think you really share those blessings too as well, which I love. I think that's actually a rule, not a rule, but a lesson I wrote down earlier today. It was that when you receive abundance from the universe, be sure to create it as well, to keep it going, keep it cycling out. You receive it, you also need to create it. So that is something I am seeing here for Geminis. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you next time. Hello, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome. So let's get into some lessons you may have been learning over this retrograde Mars in Gemini period. Some lessons you may have learned would be lessons regarding your creativity or creative endeavors, love, what love means, self-love, love for other people, your self-expression. You could have really been working on getting that right and tailoring that to you and undoing any influences that maybe aren't authentic to you. You could have had lessons maybe regarding your father figure and healing any wounds regarding that. You could be reinstating some long-term career goals here, reinstating goals when it comes to your public reputation or your career overall. You could be strengthening your subconscious mind, your nervous system, resetting that, resetting your thought process, strengthening your spiritual practice, and getting rid of any false illusions or bad habits. Something I could see here is communication when it comes to your relationships. You could be very communicative with your partner, business partners, your lawyers, legal contracts, just strong communication there about how you can level up, about how you can get to your higher goals or higher ambitions. Your partner can maybe be very supportive in that area, or maybe even being exposed to new friendships through your partnerships, through business partnerships, through bosses or something like that. You could be just maybe being introduced to the right networks, the right groups of people, the right friendships. And I could see you really feeling sparked up and fired up when it comes to the creative sides of you. I think it's mostly about figuring out how to go about that. You have the creative idea, or you have maybe a sense that, something is up on the horizon for you, but you're still waiting for information to unfold in regards to how you're going to go about that. But overall, this is looking pretty chill, pretty fun for Cancers. Let's go ahead and look at your card that I pulled for you. So you have the card of Surrender to Receive. It says the feminine power of reception through surrender. It says this is an extremely vulnerable position. To be free from worry and not distracted by what may lurk in the dark waters below is a liberated state of being. So I think Cancer, you've had maybe a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, or a little bit of just overthinking and stress that something's going to come out of nowhere and like take away all the things that you worked for, and that's not going to happen, okay? It says the medicine of this card directly asks you to be patient, accept uncertainty, fully trusting that you will be taken care of no matter what. Be wary of the mind chatter insisting that you need to know the outcome now. Universal law does not resonate with the ego's desperate need for instant gratification. So you may not know where you're going, what you're headed towards, what are these big creative ideas going to do, how are they going to fold out, but just roll with it. You don't need to have all the answers right now. It says something is waiting to be received, but it can only be accepted if you are open to it and if you allow it. This card says when you are open to receiving, you become a magnet for which you seek. What is the expectation or problem you are holding on to so tightly? Imagine that issue as a tightly closed fist. When you unclench your fist, your open palm is able to receive what life has in store for you. So let go of the need to control what you cannot control. Surrender the idea of how you need the outcome to look. All right? It's going to all unfold. You kind of have to just be patient. You got to be a little more go with the flow. You got to surrender to not knowing that you'll find out as you go. It's kind of the energy of get lost, getting found, Cancer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Leo and Leo risings, welcome. So let's go ahead and jump into it. You may be learning some lessons here regarding your home life, your mother figure, your internal state of being, maybe your ethics and morals. You've been really figuring out what you think is right and what you think is wrong. We could see you reinstating some type of goals here when it comes to education or travel, really updating your philosophies and your spiritual practices and really coming at your goals with an intention now. And I could see you strengthening your social awareness, your friendship circles, and your visions for the future here. You could be receiving information from the workplace or from coaches or just people in your day-to-day life, part of your day-to-day routine. You could be receiving some information there about how you can level up when it comes to work, when it comes to your public reputation, when it comes to your income and generating a more stable life for yourself. And so that way, you know, that home life can feel a little bit more balanced. It could feel a little bit more relaxed. I could also see you maybe having a little bit of harsh speech on the internet, Leo. This isn't the time to like rant on the internet. I would take that Gemini energy and Gemini aggression and maybe write it down instead of like running to preach or rant to like a large amount of people or your group of friends or whatever. Try to write it down, get it out first in that way, just so that way you're avoiding some type of trouble or conflict or like social media battles and stuff like that. The main thing that stands out to me here is your home life really working itself out in your internal world and the way you talk to yourself, the way you feel inside, that really trying to work itself out. And you not comparing yourself to like vain and mundane things anymore and thinking that is what's the word I'm looking for, gauges or measures your sense of value. Moving on beyond that mundane thinking or that vain thinking, that the job you have or the way you look or how expensive your clothes are is what determines how valuable you are. I think you have so much more to offer, and you're figuring that out and you're learning that, and people are communicating that to you. People in your everyday life are telling you how much you have to offer and how valuable you are to have in their lives. And I think that your authority figures could notice that too, and there could be raises or promotions that come up, or if you aren't getting noticed and you're going to quit that job, and the universe will hopefully then guide you towards a job where you will get noticed and you will get the recognition you deserve. But either way, Leo, I think this is not about demanding recognition. It's about you seeing your own self. Everyone else sees you, but you need to see your own self. So the card that I have for you says shake, release, and move on. And this card says that Let me read you the little excerpt. It's cute. It says, the antelope stands on the savannah enjoying a cool breeze. In the blink of an eye, a cheetah pounces and mounts the antelope's back, making him freeze with fear and become immobilized. Any spectator would assume the antelope is dead. Cheetah drags antelope's limp body back to a shaded area to begin her feast, but is interrupted by a gang of hyenas. Cheetah now focuses on protecting her food, abandons antelope to address the approaching hyenas, and in this moment, the antelope's body will conduct the genius of its intelligence. Still unconscious, the antelope's stomach begins to rise and fall with deep breaths, his body shaking and quivering. The antelope opens his eyes and clumsily rises to his hooves and bursts into a powerful run of his life. The antelope's body saves its life. And this card is inspired by Dr. Peter Levine's study on animals in the wild and the ability of movement to release and dispel trauma and anxiety from the body. Often after an immobile phase of terror, the animal shakes and quivers before returning to full consciousness and running away. The shaking and running are a physiological response to discharge the trauma energy from the nervous system. And I think that is your job right now, Leo, is to dispel and discharge any type of trauma in your body's nervous system. It says the genius of the body's movement is that the animal then does not have to suffer the debilitating effects of post-traumatic stress. The only creatures that do not instinctually exhibit this behavior of shaking to release trauma are humans and animals in captivity. So this is literally telling you to move it out of your body. Okay, go into that sauna, go into that cold plunge, go on that run, go on that walk, go stretch out, really try to move all that trauma and stuck energy out of the body. It says, and go at it with that intention, say the intention, this movement is for me to let go. This movement is for me to overcome any stagnancy. And do that over and over again until you feel like your nervous system has reset itself. Go get that acupuncture, go get that massage, go get that chiropractor appointment. Just start to step back into your power, start to release any buildup, blockages, or trauma in your body, and start to connect with yourself and with life again. I think that is a really beautiful message. All right, Leos, I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome. So some lessons you may be learning here will be your lessons regarding your communication, your mental health, your intimacy, and your shared resources. You may be reinstating healthier bonds with the people around you, rebalancing your finances, maybe trying to stabilize your resources and your income and your just lifestyle overall. I could see you strengthening your career and your public image and your long-term goals, and you could be maybe resolving or coming to a completion period here if you have any issues with the father figure in your life, that could be coming to some sort of resolution. You could be receiving information here about, from your romance or from your romantic partners or from any people that you create with or that you share fun with, like your friends, stuff like that. You could be receiving information there from them about what your skill sets are, what you're good at, what you're, really good at teaching and learning and doing. They could be dropping you hints there on how, what your natural talents are, and then you can apply that to your long-term goals and your long-term career. And you could also be receiving information about your intention, your philosophy, and your values and your beliefs, and how that affects your creative mind, your creative projects, your romances, and your sense of fun. You could be maybe undoing any limiting belief when it comes to your sense of fun and just letting yourself maybe play more, healing up the inner child here as well. I could see you doing a lot of inner child healing and maybe undoing any beliefs that the inner child has about not being good enough or not being strong enough or able to do something, I think you're really going to stick it to them and prove to these people that you can. And you're kind of getting out of your head a little bit more. That's actually the card that I pulled for you. Let's go ahead and see and read what this card has to say. This card says, get out of your head. Says, when you cut off a chicken's head, a burst of electricity runs through its body's nervous system, causing the chicken to run in circles and flap its wings. This is symbolic for the intrusive and obsessive thoughts we think and allow to run circles around us, even though they rarely hold any real basis in truth. So you're really overcoming those intrusive thoughts. It says, when it's time to put an end to the chicken in your head dictating your life, it says it is time to put an end to the chicken in your head dictating your life. Witness the thought and understand that you have power over it. Your power is to know it's just a thought, and if it minimizes you, it's not true, no matter how real it may feel. If it makes you feel less and powerless, then there is no way it's true, because you are quite literally a scientific miracle connected to the infinite, ever-expanding universe. This card asks you to take a big sigh of relief, because whatever is currently keeping you in your head will work itself out. You are safe, and you will find the solution, and it will resolve itself. So these answers are coming. I think we have to let go of wanting the answer to come right now. It's going to come when it comes, but don't spend your time worrying. There's actually a song, and I think it's literally called Don't Worry, Be Happy, but one of the quotes there is, everybody goes through trouble, but when you worry, you make it double. So don't double up the trouble for yourself by worrying and overthinking and allowing those intrusive thoughts to get at you. When I was really struggling with intrusive thoughts, I would write them down. So this was an exercise I would do. I would literally write them down on a piece of paper, let them come into my mind, take them out of my mind, write it all down. Then I'd close that book off, walk away, take a deep breath, whatever, relax, take a bath, whatever. Then I would come back. I'd open my notebook again. I wouldn't read what I wrote, but I would just write positive things about the topic that I wrote about. And then I would look at them like side by side, and I would just be like, I don't need these intrusive thoughts. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to release them. And then I would write again about what I'm releasing. And that was just like a way of getting the intrusive thoughts out of my mind, so they weren't running circles in my mind, and just getting them out on paper instead. And it just really kind of emptied out the mind. So I think that's an important practice, whether you want to do that exercise or not. Just start emptying out your mind here. And being okay with figuring things out as you go. Being okay with not having all the answers, knowing that it's going to come and it will work itself out. All right, Virgo, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So some lessons I could see you learning or have been working throughout this retrograde would be lessons regarding your finances, your resources, your material possessions, your relationships, and your interpersonal style. You could be reinstating certain business ideas that you had, contracts you may be renewing, reinstating certain values, reinstating certain educational goals for yourself, and travel plans. And I could see you really strengthening your beliefs and your spirituality and your morals, and no longer limiting yourself. You could be receiving communication and information maybe from your mother figure or from your home life or something like that, and it would be in regards to maybe your health or your finances or your income or just your what's the word I'm looking for here, your upbringing. You could be receiving information on how the mother figure sort of just affected your upbringing and your ability to now generate finances and resources and stability for yourself, and how that affects your thinking and your beliefs and your values and how you see value in yourself and in others. So there could be some healing in that kind of area. You could also be healing up or receiving information when it comes to your shared finances with people. If you have roommates or if you have a partner or anything like that, you could be receiving just information about shared finances there. You could be receiving information when it comes to healing your psychology. So maybe some type of communication with the mother figure really opens up doors for healing on a very deep level, on a heart level and on a mental level. And I think that you could be even reinstating goals to enter a relationship if you're single, or if you are in a relationship, then maybe leveling up that relationship, like taking the next step with your partner. That's something I could see here happening as well. So let's go ahead and look at the card that I pulled for you. I pulled the card that says Nourish Your Shadow. And this card says Jaguar represents the shadow, the subconscious aspects of ourselves that we push away. Carl Jung says these aspects usually stem from situations we encountered as children that lead us to feel shame, unworthiness, and abandonment. We then live out these programmed beliefs as adults. So that's perfect with what I was saying about how your childhood could affect your belief system, which then affects your programmed beliefs now that you're an adult. It says, the jaguar comes to speak to us about nourishing our shadow. In this image, we see her drinking from the well of wholeness. The well in this image, inspired by Jung analyst Marion Woodman, is our place of nourishment and absolute wholeness. Water is where all life comes from. Without it, we have no vitality. Many of us ignore and starve shadow aspects because they cause us so much pain. We push them away and deeply criticize them. We chain our jaguar shadow and confine her to the furthest part of the backyards in our mind. She howls and cries for nourishment, yet we still ignore her. In her banishment because of the lack of love, her power grows as a master of self-sabotage. Ironically, you would begin a relationship with her. It says ironically, if you would begin a relationship with her, you'd find that she is your greatest asset and leads to fulfilling your life's purpose. Funny that we instinctively banish her. The Jaguar's medicine asks you to create a self-talk relationship with yourself to ride the wave of hurt within. Every time a painful feeling arises, you now must tell yourself that I'm right here to feel this with you. I accept this uncomfortable feeling and I will ride it out with you. I am here to feel this with you. If you do this, the emotion will always detox out and dissipate, leading to a much quicker healing. But you must be strong and endure the pain. Commit to riding the waves of emotion together within yourself. This is the nourishment your jaguar or your shadow sides request. If you witness her, she will start showing you a new and indestructible power within. Your shadow is where your diamond lives. I love that message. Thank you so much for tuning in, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, Scorpio and Scorpio rising. So some lessons you may have learned from this retrograde period is lessons regarding your sense of self, your outlook on life, manifestation, and healing repressed parts of yourself that you've been keeping secret, parts of yourself that you maybe haven't been acknowledging and you've been leaving in the back corners of your mind. Yeah, that's coming forward now, ready to be addressed. All those elephants in the room, Scorpio, it's ready to be addressed. And you may be reinstating more efficient routines, more healthier habits, healthier work habits, healthier diet habits, healthier, like workout routines, something like that. You are just ready to be more efficient and ready to let go of all the things that drag you down and hold you back. And you may be strengthening a more intimate bond with yourself and with other people, strengthening your finances, strengthening your self-love. I could see you receiving communication here, maybe from siblings or cousins or neighbors or whatever, just regarding yourself and who you are, maybe just advice for yourself, or talking to your siblings or your cousins or your neighbors about how you can heal, how you can move forward, how you can sort of shake things off. And I could see you also handling any business regarding relationships that you're in. If there are any unhealthy relationships that you're in, you're letting that go. If there's any unhealthy mindsets regarding love and how you bond with people and how you are connecting with people, you're letting that go. And I think you're maybe redoing your interpersonal style here, how you are around other people. That's up for a change. That's up for an upgrade. That's up for healing. And I could see, Scorpios, you maybe working on strengthening any type of shared resources that you have with your partner, strengthening your financial situation, behind closed doors, like working on taxes, working on saving. You could be also maybe working on your psychology a bit more, trying to understand it, trying to learn about yourself so that way you don't trick yourself anymore. There's this energy of like tricking the self or just underlying conflicts that come up in your mind, finally addressing them and working through that on a very real level. So Scorpio, just make sure you're taking it easy on yourself. Make sure that you are being kind to yourself and you give yourself the rest that you need and support that you need. Show up for yourself. Love yourself in the way you ask to be loved by other people. Okay, let's go ahead and see what card I pulled for you. So I pulled the card of opportunity for you. And this card talks about this mysterious door is easily looked past, even though it is right in front of your face. However, it holds the emblem of the bee and shares this message. There is an approaching opportunity in alignment with stepping into a more expansive version of yourself and fulfilling yet another part of your purpose. Opportunity is approaching. You must... Ooh, I'm sorry, I had a little burp there. Oh my God. It says, you must be increasingly aware. Now is the time to raise your head like woodpecker and persevere. Woodpecker is the animal along with the bee on this card. So those could be animal symbols for you. It says, nothing can break you. The red door of opportunity has finally bestowed its grace upon you, and you are so close. There is a cascade of red doors lined up waiting for you. Once you enter through one, you will be led to another. This is your moment. This is what you have been waiting for. But you must first take action and knock on those doors. It says these opportunities may come in the form of small requests you would ordinarily say no to. Any one of those seemingly smaller arbitrary opportunities could be a doorway to something monumental, to fulfilling your purpose. It is your choice whether or not to knock on this door. Woodpecker's medicine suggests that you choose to knock. All right, love that, Scorpio. I think there are opportunities here to heal, opportunities here to be in a safe enough place where you can start to undo trauma, undo pain, undo hardships. I think that you're wrapping up that kind of period in this year, 2023, where you are no longer operating from that place of fear or that place of survival mode, and you're entering in a space where you can be more at peace. And you know exactly what areas, what people, what habits need to get cut off in order for you to be free enough to get there. All right, Scorpio, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome. So some lessons you may have learned over the course of this retrograde would be lessons regarding your subconscious, maybe certain unhealthy habits that you have. You're maybe learning to let things go. Maybe you're letting other people go. Maybe you're letting a job go. Maybe you're letting certain unhealthy aspects of yourself go. Maybe you've had to mourn people or had to mourn some type of loss. That may have been a really tough lesson and pill to swallow, but you are swallowing it. You are working on it. You are healing through it. You may be working on reinstating more fun, more play, more creative endeavors, more romance, more self-expression. You've gone through enough hardships, and I think you're ready to just live life a little more loosely, live life a little more playfully. You could be strengthening your interpersonal style, your relationships, your outlook on love, and connection. I think you may have had sort of a wounded outlook on love, relationships, and connection, and that's healing up. I think you could be wanting to spend more time with yourself so you can actually figure out other people in a weird way. I think you're taking time to take a look at yourself and how is it that you attract certain people? How is it that I think you could be concerned maybe about what other people say or think about you, and my advice would be not to be too concerned about that and not to let that run circles in your head. I think you could be receiving information from bosses, coaches, parents, just authority figures about how you can create more stability in your life and in your mind and in your heart and in your soul. And I think you're going to be working on getting on better routines, on a better health diet, workout diet, daily routine, work ethic, stuff like that. I feel like you've maybe been a little bit self-sabotagey, Sagittarius, maybe with certain substances, like overdoing it on like coffee or drinking or smoking or whatever. You're sort of ready to tackle that and let that go and make that cut. So the card that I pulled for you is a card of small steps, big accomplishments. And this card says, small, consistent efforts will lead to long-lasting success. Be patient. Do not rush for immediate rewards. Understand that immediate gratification cannot sustain what is needed for long-term success. Shortcuts yield short-term success, and instant gratification is for the weak mind. Sea turtles, which is the, spirit animal here. Sea turtle is not instantly born in the sea swimming towards his goal. He must first build his muscles by slowly breaking out of the shell and journeying towards his desire to be in the great sea. Allow things to develop at their own pace and plan for a lengthy dedication towards your goal. This is a very promising card, and it speaks to happy results. You are building something great, and its full fruition needs time. Turtle's medicine shares that slow and steady efforts are of the most importance to you. Something powerful is in development. What is built slowly stands longer. Ooh, I love that. So I think that we have to be okay with that, okay with the long haul here. And I think that's maybe what we're going into hermit mode to understand and dissect. What do I need to do? What do I need to be? How do I need to act? What do I need to start up to have that long-term relationship, that long-term housing, that long-term job? I think Sagittarius has been kind of like switching things up like very often, like moving a lot, or in and out of home, sleeping on people's couches, switching up jobs quite a bit over the last couple years. And the karma momentum that you're on right now is just trying to work towards stabilization. So be patient with it, trust it, and know that it's coming and it'll all work out. Thanks for tuning in, Sagittarius. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I can't wait for you to hear this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome. So I think some lessons here that you will be wrapping up now that the retrograde is over would be lessons regarding your friendships, visions for the future, and communities that you maybe want to enter or want to leave. You may be reinstating goals for yourself regarding your home life, your internal state of being, or your mother figure, maybe healing wounds regarding that and beginning to create a stronger foundation for yourself. You could be strengthening your daily routines and your health habits, and you could be receiving information. Let me check out your chart here. Receiving information when it comes to yourself, or receiving downloads within, your own head, within your own body, just having these aha moments, these realizations when it comes to what is life about, what is the fun, what is the play, what is the, rasa, or the juice of life, what is it that makes you happy, what is it that you enjoy, what is it that your inner child needs to heal. Those are going to be kind of topics that come through and information that might come through for you. I think you could be surrounding yourself with friendships or communities or groups of friends that really put you on to a better routine or a better, healthier lifestyle. You could be cutting off people who just aren't matching that need to have a healthier lifestyle for you. And I think you're just focused on yourself, focused on bettering yourself, focused on creating more stability for yourself so that you can eventually, grow and blossom. I think you've also kind of been like on the move a lot, or there's just been a lot of major changes for you. And now things are trying to settle. Now things are trying to root themselves. You could be finding, like a place or a home or a city that you feel like you can settle in. So I like this energy of settling down for Capricorn, because as an earth sign, you want that. You need that. But don't forget about incorporating fun. More fun, more play, healing the inner child, more creative endeavors as well. I think Capricorn can be very creative, and they don't get enough credit for that. A lot of the Capricorns that I know are creative people, and they kind of give it up sometimes for the logical thing to do, or the job that pays well, or the relationship that gives them stability. They can kind of sometimes give that up for stability. And I think now you're creating more stability for yourself, and you might sort of re-enter or reintroduce yourself to your more creative side and your more passionate sides, and maybe more romance too, Capricorn. I could see that. Just a little more romance, a little more fun, a little more play. So let's go ahead and look at your card. This card says, see beyond the past. This card is the story of what happened to the black swan as an adult. Let's read the whole story then. It says, the fable of the ugly duckling tells of a baby swan that nested with baby ducks. All the ducks made fun of little swan for how different he looked, which made him feel inherently not good enough. Little swan compared himself to what a duck should look like, rather than own the nature of his true self, a swan. Sadly, little swan began to assume the identity of the ugly duckling. As time went on, little swan grew and became the most beautiful black swan, and some would say even more magnificent than the common ducks that bullied him. This card is the story of what happened to the black swan as an adult. Reflected in the water of his broken child self, despite how gorgeous black swan became, he suffered from severe shame and feelings of unworthiness. He could not see the glorious truth of himself. He became crippled by the delusion that something was inherently wrong with him. He believed a wicked distortion that dismissed his worth. He was utterly unaware of his captivating beauty and could honor neither himself nor the gifts of the great mystery bestowed upon him. He became obsessed with the outside validation and compared himself to the other winged creatures. The ugly duckling finally woke up to his true self as the beautiful black swan and asks you to do the same. Swan's medicine asks you to accept that you feel your insecurities, but do not submit to them. Whatever you feel, it is not reality. It is an old story. I'm getting tongue twisted. It is the old story and the programming that brainwashed you. Please wake up from the illusion and honor what the Great Spirit gifted you, the gift of yourself. No one in this world is like you. Own that you are a rare miracle. All right, I love that. So see beyond that, see beyond the past, see beyond those old narratives that you tell yourself, the old ways that you look at yourself, and start to build a new you, build a new relationship with yourself, and get closer to your true self, undoing any fears that were put on you by your past, undoing any anxieties that were put on you by your past, letting that go, because you don't have to carry that with you anymore. It can't touch you anymore. All right, Capricorn, I hope that you enjoyed this message. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome. So some lessons that I could see here that you may have learned during the retrograde period would be lessons regarding your work, your public reputation, any father figures or wounds regarding the father figure, and any structures in your life that may have been limiting you rather than supporting you and keeping you safe. There's a difference between boundaries and barriers, right? You could be reinstating certain educational goals, programs, interests and hobbies, natural talents and skills that you have. You could be strengthening your creative endeavors, your romances, your love life, your self-expression. I could see you maybe receiving information and intuitive downloads when you are, having alone time and connecting with yourself. You could be receiving those intuitive downloads on how you can build a stronger public reputation and a stronger work life, so that way you can actually have more peace at home, more peace in your internal world, more peace when you lay your head to rest at night. So creating a stronger foundation for yourself there, creating a stronger income for yourself, more security, more resources, and also more fun and more play and more friends, more happiness. I think you're sort of realizing what's not making you happy, and you're ready to cut that off. You're ready to let that go. You're not playing around anymore. Like, you're ready to build for yourself. You're ready to build a home. You're ready to get stable. You're ready to root down, and you're ready to grow. And you kind of know what dead leaves need to be pruned back now. And the card I pulled for you is you are about to shine. It has the spirit animal, the armadillo here. It says, just as we see armadillo wearing an armor of scales, this reinforces the idea of going inward. The inward work is exactly what allows us to shine outward. That's amazing. I was just talking about that. So yeah, doing the inward work so you could shine outward. It says this inner contemplation leads to a more brilliant inner light that will eventually be witnessed and felt by all. Armadillo says that what you have to offer will be recognized. Do not bog down with how and when. Do not be led by outside validation. Instead, be led by the greater consciousness we are created from. We connect to our inner light when we connect to the source that created us. Armadillo's medicine asks you to create a very intimate relationship with that which created you. You are being asked to level up your daily prayers and create a dialogue with life. Drop all your wants and desires and create an intense conversation with the great mystery about receiving guidance to do what you were created to do. So I think you're getting very spiritual here. Like I said, having a lot of alone time and receiving a lot of downloads from the universe. It says we all have special gifts that lies dormant within us, waiting to actualize. In this moment of deep connection to the great mystery, a mysterious energy begins to activate your gift. This conversation and prayer you create needs to feel very real. Prayer does not need to look one specific way. It is intimate communication with that which you are created from, the universe. Start speaking to life. If you create this intense mystical relationship with life daily, you will begin to witness yourself unlocking all your gifts. Life speaks back to those who speak to it, but it's your job to start the conversation. You might not receive an answer right away, but it will come to you with full force in the perfect way at the right time. Armadillo's medicine says that you are about to be seen, heard, felt, witnessed, understood, and recognized. It's coming for you. You are about to shine so brightly, but now is the before time where you must ignite your gift of light through going inward and channeling the universe. I like that idea of igniting yourself. I feel that fiery energy in you, Aquarius. I know you're not playing around. And so take time alone to ignite yourself. Take time alone to sort of spark up that flame within you. And don't beat yourself up too much about getting it sparked up. Like, it will. I think outside forces will come in and spark that up for you. And once it has, protect that. Don't ever let your flame go out ever again. All right, Aquarius, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome. So some lessons that you may have been working through while Mars was in retrograde may have been lessons regarding self-talk, your spiritual beliefs, your home life, your education, your outlook on life. You may be reinstating certain financial goals, a new form of income, a healthier work ethic, and new and more aligned values. You could be strengthening your home life, your internal state of being, healing mother wounds and healing wounds around self-love. And you could be receiving information from friends and network circles and whatnot about how you can grow and expand. You may be receiving opportunities to travel or to gain more wisdom or to gain like a mentor or coach that could be coming from these friendship groups that you have in these network circles or online communities that you have. You may be introduced to like a new program or a new course or some type of like educational opportunity or just an opportunity to build your skill sets up. And in doing that, I think you're going to sort of generate more skills, more information, more opportunities to then create a stronger home life, to create a stronger foundation for yourself, and to stabilize yourself so that way you can grow. You know, it's about stabilizing yourself from within so that way you can shine brightly out, you know, outwardly. So that's something I'm seeing here for you, Pisces. And I think you will be sort of working on your values and your morals and how you gauge what is valuable and what is not. I don't think it's coming from like a mundane place anymore where you're like, oh, I'm worthy because I wear nice clothes. I'm worthy because I have a nice car and I have a nice job. It's going deeper now, Pisces. And you're like, you know, I think really taking a look at your own internal world. Like, I'm worthy because I'm kind. I'm worthy because I'm generous and I'm selfless and I'm empathetic. I think you're really starting to see the worth on that internal level, not so much, you know, letting it come from external stuff and external validation. And let's go ahead and check out the card that I pulled for you. Let's see. 43. Okay. You have the spirit animal, the tiger. And this card is about sacred boundaries. And it says that tiger's palm is a medicine of sacred boundaries. Tigers are masters of their territory. In the jungle, tiger says no to living near other tigers because she knows this will diminish the amount of food in her territory. Tiger says yes to living near water, for she knows it is good medicine to relax and play in the flowing waters. Tiger is bold and never thinks twice about whether she should allow something toxic and dramatic in her environment, nor does she ever feel bullied or corrosed, I don't know how to say this, corrosed, whatever, into something she does not want to do. Tiger is so strong because she creates firm boundaries. Tiger's power comes from knowing and honoring herself. We teach people how to treat us. Never expect others to automatically respect you with the justice, love, and consideration you deserve, even when you treat them with kindness. Articulate and create boundaries through courteous speech. For many people, conflict is draining and they would rather avoid it. Still, you are presented with a situation that continuously minimizes or belittles you, and you must stand your ground and ask for respect. The mere fact of sticking up for yourself is so admirable. It energetically creates a level of esteem from others. Even if the other party does not hear you, you will have strengthened your self-worth by holding your boundaries, and this new level of deeper self-worth will reflect in other areas of life. Boundaries do not apply only to behavior from others, but also the way we treat ourselves. Do you have guidelines for the food you put in your body, the people you create relationships with, the words you say, and the topics you discuss? Tiger Palm's medicine raises its hand in your spread when you are also being asked to level up the energy you allow into your life. Start scanning what behaviors you hold that do not align with I treat my body, mind, and spirit like a sacred temple. Tiger Palm medicine directs you to set boundaries with not only others, but yourself. Really love that energy. Thank you so much for tuning in, Pisces. I hope that you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Alrighty, we just wrapped up our intuitive message for all 12 signs. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and also make sure to check out my links down below for my tarot course and my other social media platforms. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you next time. Enjoy this retrograde, enjoy Mars going direct, enjoy this time period from January up until March as we are gaining our momentum, we are strengthening ourselves, and we are gearing up for new chapters, new changes, and new opportunities. I had so much fun filming this, and I will see you next time. Bye.